Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician's channel. And today on Tool Talk episode 24, I'm starting to lose track, man. There's a lot of these. Might have to come up with a new name and just start the series over again. But today on Tool Talk, we're going to be talking about Gearwrench sockets and some of the things that I like about them: quality, price. Just going to quickly cover just specifically the Gearwrench, and I'll just kind of compare them and show you the features that they have compared to my DeWalt sockets here. I don't have my Silver Eagle or Matco sockets here, so I just really have Gearwrench and DeWalt here. So that's what I'm going to compare it to and just show you some of the differences. But let me get a couple more things out and then we'll get started. Oh, also, stay till the end. I took a clip of my Matco service cart there at my school. Just a quick, like, 40-second video of just a quick scan through my toolbox, what it looks like. I know I've shown you guys pictures, but this time I took my wrench rails in that I've shown you guys in my previous video that I just purchased, and I took it there and set up some of my wrenches. Eventually, when I get done with school, those wrench rails and all my wrenches will come out of that service cart and go in my big box, and then I'll take what I need and keep a certain amount in my service cart. But right now, I basically have them all in there. But I hope you guys enjoy the clip. That'll be at the end of this video, and now I'll get the stuff that we need to do this video. Okay, so got everything I really need to do this video. As you guys know, I have had Gearwrench sockets before, but I didn't do a video on them because I basically just had this set, which is the metric universal sockets, and the SAE version of it as well. This ranges from 10 millimeter all the way to 19 millimeters, so it is a really good set. I believe it ran around $30 or like $25, $30. Don't quote me on that. And then you guys saw that I purchased this 10-piece 10 millimeter set. These are all 10 millimeter sockets. Impact sockets, shallow, mid-length, deep, and a universal. This is all 1/4" drive. This is all 3/8" drive right here. Really nice set. I believe this one ran me like about the same price, $20 to $30. I don't know. But either way, I'm really happy with Gearwrench sockets. And then you guys saw one of my previous videos not too long ago of this 51-piece 1/4" drive set. It's a 51-piece Gearwrench 120 XP, and I just kind of want to cover the things I like about it. And then I'm going to compare them to a deep and a shallow 1/4" drive DeWalt socket. Okay, so I didn't really need to get these two sets out. I just kind of wanted to show you what Gearwrench has. They don't just have like toolkits like this. They have individual sets. They also have basically a socket rail set. You can get it in 1/4" drive, 3/8" drive, or 1/2" drive, and it comes basically with like 6 individual rails like this for both SAE and metric, and you get the shallow, mid-length, deep, and a set of these universal swivels. And each one runs like $110 shipped. So it's a pretty damn good deal, and that's what I was going to get for each drive size. But when I saw this on sale, or for a damn good price, couldn't pass it up. So I think I'm going to get the 3/8" and 1/2" drive and keep those in my service cart as well. And then all my main sockets will go in my big box. Also, these sets are a little bit cheaper than the set I was just describing to you, but those sets do come with quite a bit more sockets. They're like 80-piece sets, and just sockets, no extensions or ratchets or anything, just a crap ton of sockets, and they all come on rails, so it's a pretty nice set. Getting off topic again. Okay, so I basically just pulled these out just to show you guys what kind of the things that Gearwrench offers. I'm not really going to go into the quality of these sockets because I'm going to do it right here with this set. So I'm going to set these off to the side, and we can start comparing these Gearwrench sockets to my DeWalt ones. So this is 81920. No, that's not it. I don't know if there's a part number on here or not. I don't see one. Either way, it's made in Taiwan. It's a 51-piece quarter-inch drive set. You got all this up here is all metric at the top, and then the bottom here, all the way across, shallow and deep, SAE. It's from 3/16 to 9/16 in both shallow and deep, and from 4 to 15 in both shallow and deep. So you get the same sizes in both shallow and deep for both SAE and metric. Then you get like a 6-inch extension and like a 2-inch extension. And then you got your little universal joint here, lower palm ratcheting, little palm ratcheter. It's reversible, pretty nice. Don't really use these all that often, but they can come in handy when working in like up in back decks of cars, like up where the speakers and stuff are. Sometimes these can come in handy because it's a pretty tight space up there up against the window. But they can come in handy, you just won't find yourself using them a lot. It does come with the Gearwrench 120 XP quarter-inch drive ratchet, which you guys already know I love these ratchets. But let's get into some of the features of these sockets. So this is a 14 millimeter. Sorry if you guys can't see that. But it has it engraved on both sides, and it's really easy to read even from far away. I can hold it way out here and I can still read the size of the socket. Gearwrench is also imprinted around the socket. And then you see this knurling at the bottom. And I really like the knurling because when I'm working without an extension doing work, I get oil on the socket or something, I like to be able to grip right there and be able to turn the socket once I get something loose. It makes things a lot faster. So that's one of the cons. This can kind of go both ways. The SAE just has 2 rings around the bottom, whereas all the metric sockets have the knurling. So, pro, you get the knurling on the metric, which really helps you grip. Con, you don't get it on the SAE. The pro side to that though is you can easily identify your SAE sockets from your metric sockets. Super easy. They do it with all their sockets. Every single Gearwrench socket that I have is the same way, knurling versus just 2 lines. And it helps you easily identify them. But that's one of the things I like about the DeWalt. Not as easily identifiable, but they all have the knurling, both SAE and metric, which really help me turn the socket if it's greasy and I'm just trying to quickly spin something out. The next thing I want to get into is, let's go, what is this, a 14? So, if you look, I have them held next to each other. They're the exact same size, same height. The Gearwrench is a little bit easier to read as far as the size of the socket, but it's not a big deal. The next big thing I want to get into, I'll show you in just one sec. Okay guys, sorry about that. I had to do something real quick, but I'm back, and I believe what I was going to go into was one of the big differences in these sockets. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm not sure why they wouldn't like it. I don't see how, at least in my mind, how it can impede you from doing a specific job. And that would be the broaching on the inside of the socket. Let's see if you guys can see that. So this one over here is a DeWalt, and this one is a Gearwrench. And if you can see that, the DeWalt, the broaching is much lower, which if you don't know what that is, it's that lip inside, on the inside, where the socket actually stops at, where the Gearwrench, it is much closer to the top. And I find that useful because when you're going to start a nut on a bolt or a fastener or whatever, or say you're going to go put a bolt in something, it's easier for me to drop that in there and it be at the top, and I can get it started on that stud really easily. Whereas if the broaching is really far down in the socket, the nut falls so far down that you can't get it started on the stud. So to me, the broaching being closer to the top of the socket is a really nice feature to me. I guess some people don't like it. I can't really figure out why. Maybe you guys have an idea. I know a few of you have actually asked me what my opinion is on whether I like it or not. And I find a lot of people asking that question, and I like it towards the top, but I just can't figure out why people wouldn't like it towards the top. So if you don't like it, let me know why and how it could affect you trying to do a job. But in my opinion, that broaching towards the top is a pretty nice feature. Another thing is, these both have it. Each of the points in here, this is the DeWalt socket, you can see that the 6 points don't just come to a straight point, they have that rounded corner, and that really helps grab onto rounded fasteners. Not extremely rounded, but it's supposed to help when removing fasteners, or and some of your cheaper sockets will just come to a straight point and they won't have any rounded edges or anything. So I really like that. As far as the chrome job, I can't really tell you how this set, the chrome job, is when it's brand new, because this set is used. It's still a really clean chrome job, really nice finish, no chipping or anything, just some wear marks on it, but that's no big deal. DeWalt has a decent chrome job as well. If you compare them to like a Pittsburgh or a Stanley socket, you will definitely be able to tell how nice they are. But compared to some other sockets, they might not be as nice. Here, I can kind of show you the chrome job on these because they are brand new. I've only used this one and this one so far. So it is a really nice set. As you can tell, the universal joint sockets, they don't have that knurling at the bottom, even though they are metric sockets. But other than that, that's about it as far as the Gearwrench sockets. Just kind of show you the insides of the sockets. So. And then the bottom of the socket, they do have this little cup area, which some of your cheaper sockets will just be a flat bottom socket. But other than that, that's about it. I'm gonna give you a close-up view of this set just so you can see the Gearwrench sockets. And then we will move on to that clip of my Matco service card. Alrighty guys, so here's kind of a closer up view of the 51-piece 1/4" drive Gearwrench socket set. And as I had told you before, it goes from 3/16, sorry about the lighting, 3/16 all the way to 9/16 here in the deep. And same exact thing for the shallow. And when the case is closed, it holds everything nice and tight, even though they're not the clip-in style case. It still holds everything in place. You don't have anything flopping around. Here is your 120 XP 1/4" drive ratchet, your extensions, your universal joint, and then your metric, which goes from 4 all the way to 15 in both shallow and deep. So that is your set. I purchased this for $30, $50 shipped. So to me, that was a really good deal. So guys, I'm about to play the clip right after the ending of this video. So make sure to stick around and see what my school cart looks like. But overall, that's what I think of Gearwrench sockets, or their ratchets as well, I guess. Just this set and the 2 other sets that I've purchased, I've been extremely happy with them. They have tight tolerances on fasteners. They work really well. I mean, a socket's basically a socket, but when you go cheaper, you don't get the broaching most of the time. You get a crappy chrome job, which might not be a big deal to some of you, but that really goes towards quality to me, and I look for a really good quality for a really good price. So I think a lot of you guys can agree with me that Gearwrench, their Taiwan made stuff, is a pretty damn good quality for a pretty damn good price. Don't want to get too much into their China stuff just because I've seen some of it and it's kind of sad, because not that it's horrible, but compared to what they used to be, it's kind of gone down. Not as bad as Craftsman, but we're not going to get into that. Not going to argue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up, comment if you have any suggestions or any input. I always love your guys' comments. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And here's that clip.